Sport will shape your life. Just ask Jack Benedick, Chris Waddell, and Sarah Will. This trio of Paralympians has dedicated their careers to helping adaptive skiers, not just opening the doors to recreation and competition, but pushing the limits on possibilities. For Jack, growing up in South Omaha, life was about sports. And after college, his sense of duty took him to Vietnam. In April 1969, a landmine changed Jack's life forever. The explosion took both legs below the knee. While recovering at the former Fitzsimmons Army Hospital, Jack went skiing for the first time. Even on prosthetic legs, this natural athlete learned quickly. Major Benedick stayed in uniform for another decade, the only double amputee on active military duty, collecting a host of medals, including 2 Silver Stars and 2 Purple Hearts. When Jack left the Army, he was eager to apply his discipline and sense of service to another life. He headed to the mountains of Colorado. Now back on snow, he wasn't content just to loop cruisers on the mountain. This competitor wanted to race. By 1979, he made the U.S. adaptive ski team, and in 1980, Jack was in the starting gate at his first Paralympics in Geilo, Norway, where he took home 3 top 5 finishes. At the '84 Paralympics in Innsbruck, he made the podium with a silver in Alpine combined. Even though programs existed to introduce sports to the disabled, many therapists tried to protect them from the risks of taking it to the next level, into full-on competition. But Jack knew better. His push wound up putting him in charge of USSA's Paralympic program, a model for other Paralympic sports. Jack also lobbied for adaptive skiing to be internationally accepted by the FIS, a move that brought recognition from the President's Council on Fitness. But above all, Jack's energy was aimed at making a difference for athletes. He played a major role in Diana Golden's success, as well as the careers of 2 new rising stars, Chris Waddell and Sarah Will. Unlike Jack, Chris came from a family of skiers. With Mount Tom, Massachusetts, just 10 minutes from home, Jim and Nancy Waddell had their boys Chris and Matthew skiing before they were old enough to start school. Chris went on to race for Middlebury College, Vermont, until an accident in December 1988. 5 days before Christmas, Chris was testing a new pair of skis when the binding pre-released, causing a fall that left this 20-year-old paralyzed from the waist down. Chris was determined to preserve the life he loved. 2 months after the accident, Chris was back at school. And 3 days short of a year, he was back on the snow in a monoski, training with his Middlebury team. Monoskiing may look like skiing, but it was a tough transition. Not just learning how to balance in a bucket on a single ski, but getting to know his body again. A body that, along with the loss of the use of his legs, had lost 50 pounds. Still, his mind wouldn't let him give up. That determination led to a spot on the U.S. adaptive team and 2 silver medals at the '92 Paralympics in Albertville, France. In '94, his medal count doubled and turned to gold when he swept all 4 skiing events in Lillehammer, Norway. The same year, he won a silver at the Track World Championships in Berlin, Germany. Chris became one of the few athletes to cross over from monoskiing to wheelchair racing, 2 vastly different sports, competing in 7 Paralympics. In total, he's won 13 Paralympic medals and hardware from 9 World Championships. Outside Magazine has asked, could Chris be the world's greatest athlete? Skiing called him one of the 25 greatest skiers in North America. And People magazine named him one of the 50 most beautiful people in the world. Chris retired from competition after the Athens Games, but only to set his sights on higher ground, the highest peak in Africa. On September 30th, 2009, after 6 days of pressing through exertion and pain, Chris became the first paraplegic to reach the summit of Mount Kilimanjaro. To reach 19,340 feet was an amazing athletic feat. But to Chris, it was ammunition to fire new inspiration for the 21 million disabled people on this planet. And a reminder that we should look at our lives with possibility, not disability. Sarah Will shares Chris's philosophy. In fact, for over a decade, the teammates hosted a monoski camp at Vail, striving to focus on their sport from the ski up rather than the disability down. And like Chris's One Revolution, Sarah has pledged her energy and expertise to AXS Vail Valley, tirelessly working to expand recreation programs and services for the disabled. The youngest of 6, Sarah started skiing on family trips to Vermont when she was 4. Chasing her older brothers and sister, she learned the fall line fast. At 9, she joined the race team at Pico Mountain, and as a freshman in 1984, Sarah was the most valuable member of the Green Mountain College ski team. But for Sarah, racing was just another reason to be skiing, her real passion. She followed her heart to the mountains of Colorado. For Sarah, it was all about living the dream, a dream that turned into a nightmare. A simple change in the snow, from powder to packed, caught Sarah off balance and sent her back flipping off a cat track. When she landed, she was paralyzed from the waist down. While recovering at a hospital near her family home in New York, Sarah's brother Brian sent her a copy of Bold Tracks, Hal O'Leary's book about adaptive skiing. O'Leary gave her hope, and that next season she was back on the snow at Winter Park, learning to ski all over again. Like Chris, Sarah admits when you learn to ski at 4, it's not easy to relearn 20 years later, especially without legs. But she didn't give up, and within 3 seasons, she earned a spot on the U.S. Paralympic team and was headed to Albertville, winning gold in both downhill and Super G. Over the course of her career, this 4-time Paralympian has won 12 gold and 1 silver, including a solid gold sweep of all 4 events at the Salt Lake Games in 2002. A collection ranking her the most decorated female in Paralympic history. Years back, Coach Mike Brown, a downhiller himself, told Sarah, "It's not how fast you go, it's how little you slow down." That advice has turned into her life philosophy. And it's why this no-excuses athlete, who has been clocked at 65 miles an hour, accepted an invitation to try monocross at the 2005 Winter X Games. Sarah placed 3rd on that wild ride, and the next year, when no other women would compete, she joined the men's field and came in 4th. Sarah believes in the long run, remembering the details of your mistakes will wind up more valuable than your successes. And that's why she, like Jack and Chris, has made it her mission to help other disabled skiers. The lives of Jack Benedick, Chris Waddell, and Sarah Will encourage us all to never underestimate what the mind and body can do. And for their remarkable contributions to our nation's ski history, we proudly present them the highest medal awarded in these United States, the U.S. Ski and Snowboard Hall of Fame Medal of Honor.